Welcome to the Broken Sun.
Keva can I wake one of them up and talk to them and see psychic connection thing? I don't know if it's good if I connect to a person like that or if it's bad. Is it? Keva says, facing the moral quandary of is this bad or good?
I would suggest we take them somewhere safe before you wake one up, just in case they start shouting or something.
That's a good point. Okay. So, I guess we go and bring them back to the ship.
Okay, sure. You're back on the ship. You are there with these two hostages, prisoners, whatever. And
guests.
Yeah, I guess you can tie them up to some of the chairs, or I don't know what all changes you've made to the interior of the Express over all this time, but I'm sure you have somewhere that you can handcuff them to or zip tie them to for a bit.
We still have chairs. It's just really decorated. So there's rugs on the ground, obviously wind chimes.
Of course, yeah.
So Keva starts trying to wake one of them up by tapping his face with one finger.
Yeah, I think he's been knocked out and rendered unconscious by physical blunt force trauma. So you might need some medical intervention to wake him up from the coma that he's in.
Keva's okay, I've done everything I can do. Maeve, it's your turn.
I hit them so hard, I feel kind of bad about it, actually.
I don't.
No, it's just they're clones, I don't think they chose it. They sound like robots,
Yeah,
maybe they are robots.
I think it's with baby birds, they imprinted or something, because Pharaohs looks like CD did, and I imagine talks like CD does. So I think that's what happened here with these two.
I guess I'll try to medic one.
Okay. It's not going to make you roll for that. I mean, you might need to declare some gear that would allow you to do medical stuff.
I have syringes and applicators. Can I Pulp Fiction just one of them through the sternum with an adrenaline shot?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if that's how things still work at this point in the future, but you're able to administer.
I was hoping it would be smelling salts. Adrenaline sucks.
You're able to administer something that returns one of them to consciousness.
Before they woke up, CD put a red hat on one and a green hat on the other, left over from Donin.
Some extra hats.
Mm-hmm. This is so we can tell them apart. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that one has a broken nose. The other one is missing teeth. So,
it's good to have redundancies in your identification systems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the one in the green hat wakes up, and it takes a minute for his eyes to refocus, and he looks at the four of you. He looks very confused and says, "Citizens, I appear to be restrained."
Yes, it's so you don't hurt yourself.
What seems to be the issue?
Well, I really wanted to meet you because I know your sister Harris.
I do not have a sister.
Do, she's green like you.
Ah, well, I believe I understand the issue now. You see, people have different colors of skin, citizen, and not everyone with the same color of skin is related.
You don't say.
It's a common misconception.
What's your name?
My name is Weapon Table.
Weapon Table?
Weapon Table?
Yes, I am Weapon Table.
What's his name? And Keva points to the other passed out one.
He looks over and he notices his comrade with a broken nose, and he squints and he says, "This is highly irregular. What has happened to warehouse talent's nose?"
Okay.
They took a bit of a stumble.
Yeah.
Right on the snoot.
Okay, so you all are WT like Whiskey Tango.
Whiskey Tango is a true hero.
Who told you that?
We're a huge fan of Whiskey Tango as well. And we hear that he's out in space and we want to meet him. What would be the best way to get from here to space?
If you wish to access outer space, you must pass through the old spaceport. But in order to do so, you must have authorization from the Solar Free State. Do you have authorization from the Solar Free State, citizen?
We do.
I cannot seem to access my onboard systems. I will not be able to verify.
That also broke too, unfortunately. I have to ask you, who told you that you all of this stuff?
I don't understand.
Okay. So the way people get information is by someone telling it to them or observing it themselves. So I was just wondering in what form you got this information that you know.
Everybody knows information, citizen.
Right,
Why
so
can I
they're-
not move?
They're born with it. You had a very traumatic fall.
It is not in my memory banks.
In fact, it was so traumatic that you can't recall it. You are being bound for medical purposes to keep the broken bones from sloshing around.
This citizen's a doctor.
Citizen Doctor. I think you might need to do a roll if you want to convince him.
Can I roll command for doctor's orders?
Yeah, you can.
Are we still controlled?
Yes. It's difficult to get more controlled than this situation.
Hey,
Okay, so you rolled a
I'm
5.
scared. I'm getting 25s.
Well, it's a controlled consequence. Good. So you rolled a 5 here, and let's see. Controlled consequences. Okay. So what is it you're attempting to say here?
I guess just trying to. It's almost the mother knows best. Like, don't question the situation you're in. I'm a doctor. Trust me.
The only doctor who is authorized to operate on us is Welfare Tiger. You are not Welfare Tiger, citizen.
Welfare Tiger being another clone.
Welfare Tiger is one of us.
Right.
On
Okay.
a 5 controlled, you hesitate. Withdraw and try a different approach, or else do it with a minor consequence. Your choice. You can push this through and there'll be a consequence, or because you're in a controlled position, you can withdraw and try a different approach to get this information you want, or to convince them that you're...
I'll withdraw and try a different approach.
Okay. So what are you going to try here that will not, or that will convince this person that you are not a dangerous rebel infiltrator?
You know their mother.
Do I? They're not related just because they're green.
I just like to imagine that CD is somehow all of their mothers because CD helped create them inadvertently.
I think they're vat-born, like those pictures that Slip had everywhere. All those conspiracy walls.
Yeah, but the point, I mean, genetically, hold on a second. Do you know Hector? Yes, them.
I do not know any Hector.
Mm.
Do you really know Whiskey Tango?
Yes.
Oh, we've met.
Yep.
Many times.
Then why don't I know you?
Do you know everything Whiskey Tango knows?
I am Whiskey Tango.
Okay, do you know who Slip is?
Slip is a dangerous outlaw,
Okay.
Oh, that's
but we greatly respect Slip.
And the last time you saw Slip was when?
The last time I saw Slip, let's see, what was the encounter that Whiskey Tango had with Slip before the sim server room?
The ball. We danced together and I
Right.
was
Yeah.
in disguise.
Right. Did Whiskey Tango see see through your disguise? I can't.
I don't believe
don't
so.
So I hid behind him like a fainting bell.
So
Yeah,
I guess the only time would have been during the prologue when we were running away from.
Right. The last time I encountered Slip was fleeing the scene of a murder alongside his accomplice, who would later be recognized as the murderer, CD.
Huh?
Interesting. So we have a timetable roughly on when this happened.
okay. But I'm saying that since that didn't work, I talked to them now.
Be my guest. This citizen is a therapist.
Okay, well, that's one way of putting it, but I was thinking more like, so I could try to brain hack them, or I could try to attune, or I can consort.
Those are all actions.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to do?
Keva's going to attune to them and basically tell this clone. Keva's basically going to tell Green Hat, hey, someone put a program in your mind to be and act like this person, and you're not them.
Are you using your blending abilities here to attune?
Yes.
Okay. So you're still in a controlled position. I think this will be great effect if you are using that type of direct connection.
Okay. So is that attune? Where is that?
You said you wanted to use attune, so that's what you're using.
Okay, so controlled. Great. basically be like, hey, this isn't you. You are a individual that someone put programming into.
Oh no. His brain is going to dissolve.
Apparently not, I gotta say.
Okay, so you roll the 6. You are able to get into his head, basically, into Weapon Table's head here. And here's the thing. There's not a program running in there. There is a brain. It's like a positronic cyborg brain. It's part organic, part mechanical. And this is actually a copy of Whiskey Tango. It is his brain that has been uploaded into this brain. There have been minor alterations made so that he understands that he is a copy. But for all intents and purposes otherwise, he has all of the knowledge, skills, and experiences of Whiskey Tango up until the point where he was decanted into this body.
So here's a question. Do I know why he's green?
You would need to do like a further analysis on the actual physiology, I should say, of the body.
Yeah, that's not
to learn about that.
That's not necessarily Keva's strong point either. So basically, Keva does this and looks and is like, So
I am aware that I am not the original Whiskey Tango. However, I still serve the Solar Free State.
Keva's just sort of like, what if I told you the Solar Free State is not good people?
When you are in a position of power and authority, and people rely on you to make sure that society continues to function, you do not always have the luxury to be good.
But if you harm society by these actions, if you hurt everyone with these actions, then you aren't helping anyone.
Who is it that I am harming at the moment?
And that's when Keva shows a bunch of memories of hers.
Okay.
Children crying, town blowing up, children who have been torn from their parents, a town blowing up, innocents harmed, people that didn't need to be subjected that were, when things could have been done peaceably. She kind of sensed that and basically is like, this is what all of you have done.
Okay. Before we move forward with that, I want to make sure that we're all clear. Doing this, you are essentially overlaying a person's personality with your own lived experiences. Is that something that you are comfortable doing?
I don't think Keva's forcing it out. I thought it was more like she is just showing this person psychically, this is what happened, like from her perspective. So she's not forcing them to think a different way. I was picturing it more as her showing them this is what's happened.
Okay. If you want to show it to him, show him your memories, that's one thing. I just want to make sure that we're clear on how you're approaching it.
I wasn't
giving him your memories, but showing him your memories.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I totally understand where the confusion was there. That this isn't Keva forcing. This is how I think. This is this is more just this happened and this happened and this happened. Here's evidence that I've seen.
Okay. He is still for a moment as he processes these memories that you share with him. And you see a distant look in his eyes. And he looks up after a time and he says, "It is unfortunate that the people of Gov's domain have had such difficulty governing themselves in this time. It was always our intention to provide protection from the emergency, but we cannot govern directly. That would be unethical."
But that's the thing, Weapon Table. We haven't governed ourselves for over 200 years.
Yeah.
Every form of religious and military oppression that we've experienced until the age of 65 for generations has been of the sun's artifice and Minister De Winton's personal pet project.
If you had come and talked to us and just been like, hey, let's weather this storm together, it would have been one thing instead of trying to subject us and control us.
I don't know if Whiskey Tango believes that anything that they're doing can be justified. Maybe Whiskey Tango is just happy or content to maintain the status quo as brutally as possible. Maybe Whiskey Tango doesn't enjoy being oppressive. But the point I think that Keva's trying to make is that even as a copy, even with a partially robotic brain, you still have a choice. Unless they took that choice away from you, like they did with us all over the domain.
It is difficult to grapple with the implications here. I did not join Section Blue with the intention of causing further harm, but I have always comforted myself in the knowledge that without us, things would be worse. And now he looks down at his bound hands. Did we make it worse?
I think so.
Yeah, sorry to say, he did. But one can always move forward and try to start making it better.
You can't make up for genocide. You will never, ever balance the scales as an individual or as a society in charge of one. But you can change. I don't know that you'll be better. I don't know that Whiskey Tango is someone who can ever be redeemed, but redemption shouldn't be the goal of a society working for amnesty. It's a process that's lifelong. It's not an end goal.
Why are you here?
Because we want to free the domain.
I see. What will happen to us?
I have no desire to kill everyone in the station. But I have killed and I will kill to free my people.
I think at this point, you're free to go. Just leave us alone.
I don't know that I am. I have my duties. I do not know what would happen to me if I returned in this state. My systems are no longer as they should be.
You can come with us.
What do you need?
We need to get our vessel into space. Do you know about the Hygiean Logistocracy fleet?
Yes, we are here to prepare for their arrival.
Right, so they're coming to forcibly oppress the domain because we're sort of in a state of revolutionary upheaval. We're working with a splinter faction of the fleet that came that doesn't really buy the sun working in everyone's best interests. And they have aliens with them. And I don't know if my friend Keva showed you, but we recently freed some Andromedans, right?
Yeah.
We recently freed some Andromedans from Olympian interior design. Yes, the destruction was a lot, but I think it was justified considering that 3 Andromedans were being tortured and constantly killed and then re-atomized for longer than 2 centuries as fuel.
For fashion?
Olympian interior design handled power.
Keva couldn't show that happening because she wasn't there. She just showed the Andromedans being hurt, coming back being hurt, and just like that was Olympian. Like she couldn't show that.
I can offer you my access codes. I do not know if they will get you all the way through, but that is what I can offer.
That worked. What do you want us to do with WT Red?
Warehouse talent?
It's a fantastic.
Don't know.
I mean, I'm happy to do this process a bunch. I mean, the kicking in the face I kind of regret because I realize you didn't have a choice, unlike others. So I'm sorry about the nose and the teeth.
It seems inconsequential in light of everything, but I don't. There are many factors. I mean, yes, I am Whiskey Tango. Yes, we are all Whiskey Tango, but we have had different experiences since our awakenings. It's only been a few weeks, but we have become different people even in that time.
Okay, I have another question. What does Whiskey Tango stand for, like the original? Because I know someone who wants to know that.
That's private information.
Okay.
Well, I've gotten sort of a Whiskey Tango had good intentions and then did the job, which was never good.
I don't know. Serve and protect is what we signed up for, but I can't say that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Even now, with this knowledge of what I have helped to facilitate protecting my people, and by my people I primarily mean Section Blue, remains at the forefront of my mind. Can I trust myself, any of myselves? Look, I can give you the code.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this will last.
Yeah, they might fry you. They've done heinous shit like that.
I mean, you can still come with us. We can go drop your friend off, but they will be none the wiser.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know how long this change will last. Is this who I am now, or is this only who I am right now?
That's very deep.
I think you might be able to make that choice, but with the cyborg parts in your brain, I really don't know with these people.
I can keep on trying to make you your own self, if that's what you want.
I think if you want to bring Weapon Table with you, you might need to roll about it, because at this point, I think if it's not clear, Weapon Table's concern is that the effect of Keva's memories is only a temporary thing.
Right.
Mm. Would Keva know from experience if
No.
showing? No. Okay, I was just wondering with Hub if there was any correlation or anything. No. Okay, so.
I mean, you all have the experience of having different people's memories in you. Did it change who you were permanently? Did it change your fundamental self?
No, I don't think so, anyway. But maybe.
A little bit.
Everyone doesn't think so.
Keva was given more knowledge that she then used as she moved forward. So
yeah, and maybe this will happen here. But at his core, Whiskey Tango is a man who has served the Solar Free State in the capacity of their law enforcement for hundreds of years. This is the life that he has continued to choose all of that time. Is this enough for him to permanently change who he is? That's a type of question I think it's important for us to ask. The question is that what we want to explore with this character?
I'd like to hope he could choose. Like, if this instance of Weapon Table being an individual wants to choose to change, I don't like no amount of like exposure of human rights violations makes people do anything. Because like people can claim ignorance until they're blue in the face, pun intended. But like people know.
I do think that there are people that will know and won't change, but I do think there are people that will find out and will change, just because I have seen that for myself in my life. I would say,
what does Zora think? Speaking of people who have been in a situation much like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important or Zora thinks it's important that you give people the opportunity to change, because if you don't give them that opportunity, nothing's going to change with them. So, Zora's totally pro giving him that chance. Yeah. And that would be what she would be in support of.
Keva stops for a second, and I was like, what happened to the people that were identified as female originally?
These bodies are all just, he says, these are the only bodies that we're aware of. They're produced by the facilities that Phoenix had. This is a mass-produced body capable of surviving on the habitat.
Is this the only run of clones, or would
that
you
I'm
not
aware of?
Interesting.
There were prototype models, but we don't know where those are.
I want to call this one Mr. 288, or maybe not. Maybe I want to call him Black Wolf.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm making really up. I'm sorry. I'm coming up with really ridiculous Final Fantasy IX correlations here, because there were created mindless soldiers in that.
The clone army is a proud tradition in science fiction.
Yeah. Does that mean that Harrow's is Vivi?
Maybe. That'll be up to you. Okay, so consensus. Do you want to bring Weapon Table with you?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Zora's pro that too.
Okay, you can come with us. We're gonna drop it. I mean, if you want us to keep, I'm sorry, it's hard to remember. I know that your Weapon Table, I forgot his name.
Warehouse Talent.
Warehouse Talent. I just keep on thinking of him as red.
Well, that is the color of the hat you've put on his head.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're going to go, we should go swiftly.
Yeah, should we leave him here?
That would be best.
He's going to be out a long time, I think.
As he has been unconscious, he will not be compromised in the way that I have been.
Okay, let's go, Keva says.
Yeah, Emran Swiss Army knife and just clips the zip ties.
Okay. I think Weapon Table does something, and his power armor opens up, and he steps out of it and says, it may be best if I remain in restraints, just in case. So the power armor is in one of the chairs. Weapon Table is restrained at his own request. And Warehouse Talent, do you take him back to where you found him, or just leave him here?
Yeah, we bring him.
We'll just leave him there. Put him back on the ground. And
okay.
Keva takes the red hat off of him.
No, that's
a good idea.
No, leave the red hat, because that's going to be what he uses to identify when he wakes up in our new world.
Okay,
we're taking the power armor, right?
I'm just leaving that on the ship. Doesn't matter.
No, I mean a red hat's power armor.
We'd have to disable the biometric lock.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we have one suit of it so far. I think we're good. We can replicate it.
Yeah.
Fair.
You also have your spacesuits.
Yeah.
But I want power armor in my space.
I want all of them.
I want to
I'm
be.
just reminding you, in case it comes up that you have to go out in space. You do
Well-
have those spacesuits from season 1 still here.
Yeah,
wanna
but
be a
now we
hero.
have a spare suit for Zora. So
There you go. Okay. I think with that, basically, this is a successful mission of getting through.
Our most successful mission
Yay.
thus far.
what the heck happened here?
We did it.
You did it. Lots of 6s.
We talked to a space cop, and he felt really bad.
Yeah. And I think with Weapon Table's access code and your knowledge of the interior of the station, thanks to the Express's records, you're able to get through the areas that don't have further WTs. Maybe I'm sure we can come up with a better name for that. But for the WTs, I do have a whole list of their potential names in case you run into them again.
Wendigo thorax is my favorite.
Is one of them Waltz terrible?
No, it's all double syllable, double syllable.
Oh.
Okay,
Dang
so you get through and you're able to open up at the end of it the port that lets you out into the darkness of space. So you are once again emerging into outer space, which I don't think Zora's been here before.
Oh no.
So Zora, we're in space now, and I just want to preface everything that happens next with: under no circumstances should you open the helmet of either a spacesuit or the power armor like someone else did.
Who did that?
It was
Zonin did it, and it sucked.
a lot. I think he may have experienced permanent brain damage.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah,
Also,
Space is bad.
there are space squids out there.
I have parts of them
Squids.
on hub.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Zora, you did battle one of these before.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you
Oh,
battled a
very-
big old space squid.
That was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, how long has it been since Zora's been away from home?
It's probably 4 or 5 months now.
Oh wow.
Long enough for the 3 kids to have a birthday. Now, another question is, isn't it like I was originally under the impression that everyone on the station had the birthday on the same day? But I guess it's like each year they choose a different date.
It's because Gov's domain is still pretty big. Like there are 11 million people living there, and it used to be a lot more. But
Mhm.
Gov's domain has been steadily shrinking over the years because of the desertification and the continued efforts of the Solar Free State to shrink their population.
Okay.
So what basically happens is that in each town, in each sector, in each city, they have staggered dates for
Okay.
decanting.
Okay, so it'd be like, let's say everyone our year was born, I'll just say April 3rd, and then the next year everyone in our town was April 4th.
Yeah.
And then
Meanwhile, the next town over, a different date.
yeah, so it was like August 1st and then August 2nd. Okay.
Yeah. The date of decanting is determined partly by there's the cycle, right? And they want to make
Mhm.
sure that the population remains stable and gradually shrinking.
Okay. Yeah, just double checking there. So,
So space.
yeah, space, the final frontier.
You can see the stars. You can see off in the distance, there is the real sun. There's a sort of a hazy fog around it. And, you're in the asteroid belt here. So the Earth is not much more than a speck if you even bothered to look for it.
How different is the real sun?
It's just there's like a haze around it, like a fog almost in
And
space.
that's the only real difference between the two? Otherwise they look pretty much the same?
Well, it's our sun. It's the sun, but it looks like somebody has put some gauze around it, basically.
Got it.
The sun inside the station is it's just a spherical battleship that used to be on fire all the time, but isn't anymore.
Yeah. So, a question about the real sun. So, it looks like, say, if you were observing it from Earth and there was like a cloud cover, that's what it looks like right now, kind of.
It is surrounded by gray goo.
So, Keva points out that's the real sun. Keva says to everyone, especially Zora.
You have anything else to point out?
That is supposed to be a bear.
You can see some asteroids.
A bear.
Yes.
That's a bear.
Yes, that cluster of stars is a bear.
That looks nothing like a
Yeah.
bear.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
You can also see near. So the asteroid belt doesn't mean that there's a bunch of asteroids that are all close to each other, Star Wars style. It just means like every couple of million billion kilometers, there's an asteroid. But there is one that is near the habitat, which is the one that is sort of provides cover to the habitat, or has provided cover to the habitat from whatever's back on Earth. And you can see on one side of it, there are some ships. And these ships are some large, some small. It's like a flotilla of about a half dozen ships that are bigger than you, and maybe a dozen ships around the same size as you, and then some that are smaller. On the other side of the asteroid, out of view, you can't see right now, is the main Hygiean fleet, which is many, many more ships than this. But you can't see them right now. You know they're there in theory, but what you can see is that this group that you are scheduled to meet with. And did I forget that MP was with you this whole time? Yes, I did. But
MP has just been sitting like, wow, we're having some like tough deals.
Yeah.
I
just
thought that
vibing.
MP's just sleeping.
yeah, MP's been taking a nice nap this whole time.
During low power mode.
Thank goodness I'm here.
MP, guess what? We have a new friend.
Oh, wow. I'm always happy to meet a new friend.
That's
What is
warehouse
that?
table.
No,
It makes me incredibly uncomfortable how loosely everyone here throws around the word friend.
that is weapon table. Our unconscious friend is warehouse talent.
Oh, they're gone though.
You're gone. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
I'll keep this hat to remember him.
He's in restraints there. Is that a
He asked for that.
Yeah, we had sort of a
he glances at weapon table, and weapon table glances at him, and he's like, is this a kink thing, or
I knew it was gonna come up.
Thank you for making that. I almost made it.
weapon table
Ah.
just shakes his head and he's like, I just thought I'd check. I mean, these are young people. I can't have you taking advantage of them. And anyway, the ship that we're going to meet, and he points at the largest one in the formation over by the asteroid, that one over there. So I have sent them a ping to let them know that we are approaching. Everybody, you got on your best outfit, your hair all done up.
Keva, look. Keva's
I have blood on my collar.
You do hair, right? I didn't even have hair when I was alive, so.
Keva's still wearing her birthday outfit, which I finished. Well, I still have a sketch of, but I felt it was appropriate to wear a pink tank top, and hers is.
Are you busting at the honcho?
There's no poncho. There's no
Focus.
poncho.
Right, it was the most revealing outfit Keva has ever been in.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
The wrap, yeah.
The shoulders.
Trudy, are you looking at the camera? You can see?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's kind of hard to see because the
Focus.
camera's having a
Yeah.
hard time focusing, but I can sort of make it out. I can definitely see those shoes.
Heck yeah.
She's supposed to be holding the balloon.
Balloons.
I'll post it on the Discord after we're done here.
Yeah, I think a photo would probably be clearer.
Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. It's just a rough sketch for now. I'll eventually define it more. That's probably what I'll do in a minute.
So the ship that you can see, and the Express helpfully zooms in on it, is it looks to be a nautilus, just a really, really big nautilus. And by that I mean the sea creature with a spiral shell nautilus.
Not the submarine piloted by Captain Nemo.
No. So it has a big old shell, and it's got all those like tentacle thingies coming out the front, that eyes on either side of it, and it's just floating there in space, surrounded by these other ships. Some of the other ships around it also look like some type of nautiloids. Some of them look like they might be shrimp or lobster style crustaceans, but they're just floating in space. Some of the ships that you see there look just like much larger versions of the Andromedan containment units, and then the rest of the ships you would assume are human ships because they're a variety of different shapes and sizes and models.
There's no squid shapes, though.
No squids.
Phew.
MP, who pilots the giant fish?
Oh, those would be the Centaurans.
Ooh.
Do they have like autonomous scouts in the shape of squids?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't have access to everything in their catalog, but I haven't heard of them doing anything squid-like. They mostly stick to big old crustaceans.
the mystery continues.
Okay. Yeah, we fought a space squid once.
Wow.
I have its body.
Oh,
Not here.
that's good. I don't want to be eaten by a space squid while you're out. So that's the
Any-
Jellyfish Junction.
The what?
Fish.
Yeah. Jellyfish Junction is the name of that ship.
Is the interior full of water?
Well, parts of it are, parts of it aren't. They've got different chambers. I understand they prepared a chamber for you that's not full of water, so you should be okay there.
Maeve, can you grow gills?
Can I try crab form?
You'd be able to do a crustacean for sure.
They might respect your crab body.
I'll be king crab.
Anyway.
That Pokemon with the big claw. So the ships aren't like just crustacean ships; they're like big crustaceans.
Yeah, they're
Can I
not
talk to
crustacean
them?
shaped. It is a giant living ship.
Can I reach out
Ooh.
like I did to like the crustaceans in Gov's domain?
I will control this vessel. Hello.
Give it a shot, sure. I think that would be a controlled attune roll. At if you wait until you're closer, it could be standard effect.
Yeah, I'll wait until I'm closer. You want me to just roll now, or wait until we're closer?
I mean, we don't need to role play out the entire transit, but the Express is not using its engines. It's just using thrusters. And the reason for that, I don't know if any of you ask, but the reason for that is because one of the many predominant theories on the emergency is that it is attracted to displays of technology. So, as you may recall from our Asteroid Blues game, they didn't use traditional ship engines to get around. They used slingshots to sort of launch themselves around. So, likewise, the Express is using puffs of oxygen and to scoot itself over towards this ship.
Keva tells the Express that it's very smart.
The Express feels pleased. Yeah, so go ahead. You rolled. Did you make your roll?
I'm about to make,
Okay.
and that's controlled standard.
Yep.
Oh no.
Okay.
Its mind is too great.
I think you touch up against this thing's mind and you can feel that there is a mind there, but this is an alien mind. Like even with the Ebon Dowager, even with the insects and stuff on the habitat, they at least come from a shared genetic background. Like humans and spiders are more related than humans and aliens from another galaxy, for example. So touching up against this alien mind is an unpleasant experience. It's not damaging to you, but it's just like you can't really parse anything that's happening from it
Yet.
Yes, of course, yet. So you're blocked or you falter. You either press on by seizing a risky opportunity or withdraw and try a different approach or just be blocked by it.
I'll just be blocked. Don't want to make a poor first impression.
It's nice when you're in a controlled position, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice.
Yeah, you're not risking level 3 harm twice.
So the Express nuzzles up to the side of the shell of this giant nautilus, the Jellyfish Junction, and there is a part of it that is also still organic and an airlock hatch. So the Express turns and attaches its airlock to the airlock of the ship. And yeah, you are free to enter. As the airlock cycles open with a hiss, you can feel the atmosphere equalizing. There's some mist in the air. It's damp. The smell is unfamiliar. And how are all of you looking? And we know that Keva's in her party outfit.
Yes, it is on the picture is now there.
For a moment, I clicked on the crab and was like, oh,
Yes, Keva is now wearing a crab outfit.
so it looks like you've got a nice wrap with a cool top that is exposing your belly button. And then there's some type of asymmetrical wrap skirt.
And a la the Naruto and Breath of the Wild that I am obsessed with. She's got like a broken sun medallion at the hip.
Nice.
Yeah. No more balloon though.
What's Emran rocking here?
Emran is wearing as close to his original blacksmith's outfit as he was able to scrounge over the months, and just as close to his original clothing as possible. A lot
Okay.
of patches have been sewn into it and whatnot.
Right. You got your jacket. Are you wearing your visor up or down or not at all?
I've got the visor on, and I'm bringing my sword and shield. I feel naked without it.
Of course. I think orange was one of the colors in, you had orange jacket, right? Okay. What's Maeve's look?
I think I'll keep the sparkly Jessica Rabbit dress and then go like Crab Centaur.
Okay. So how does the dress work on that? Like how does the bottom part of the dress? I can see how the top part works on the top half. Does the fabric stretch or does it drape?
No, I think I just like scrunch it up and it just kind of drapes to the sides.
I thought
Okay.
it had like a slit cut so it could
Yeah.
sort of like drape
For the
away.
crab legs. Okay.
Yep.
Dave,
And go ahead.
You're doing that dress a lot of favors.
Thank you. I think I should put my best foot forward, or feet.
Click clack.
Emran has dealt another psychic harm with the second pun in less than 4 hours.
This is what all the women in his life do. It's psychic harm.
No, Emran loves you. It's just puns really hurt him.
Zora, what's your diplomacy outfit?
The same stuff she always wears. She's never been one for much dressing up, and she's not about to start now.
Keva gave her the extra scarf that Keva had stolen earlier.
She'll put the scarf on over her armor.
Hell yeah, that armor is grimy by now.
Oh,
I'm sure it's very
cleaned it.
clean.
Yeah, we cleaned it.
Yeah,
You got facilities. The tabard. Are you wearing your tabard that has the symbol of Gov on it?
Oh, no, that's gone.
Okay. Do you have a different tabard on or just no tabard?
No tabard for now.
Okay. So the ramp sets down into the, as far as you can tell, hangar bay of the Jellyfish Junction. And there to greet you are 3 people. One of the people is a Centauran. Now, Centaurans, as we determined years ago now, before we ever even had the opportunity to meet one of them, Centaurans are aquatic people who were, without their permission, without their consent, were uplifted by some ancient alien race. And they use cybernetics to walk around and live largely both on land and in the water. So they are cybernetically enhanced fish people. The one here to meet you looks vaguely like a catfish in the head region. They have cybernetic arms with fins like over the shoulders. So it's like they've got shoulder epaulettes, but the epaulettes are their fins. And then cybernetic arms. Each arm has 3 manipulators at the end. They don't have legs. Their tail and their lower body are on a cart. The cart has legs, though. It has crustacean-style legs. So there's 6 metallic legs on this cart. And the cart is filled with water. So that's the catfish person there to meet you. There is an Andromedan containment unit, and then there is a human. The human is dressed in a gray outfit head to toe. It's just completely gray, not even shades of gray. It's one gray color. He's a man. His pronouns are he and him. He's got white hair, gray eyes, very bushy white eyebrows, strong jawline, he's got a bit of a paunch, otherwise fairly average body type, and just gray suit. So it's like, imagine not a business suit, not a Western style suit. It's just a gray jacket that's closed with a high collar, gray pants, gray shoes. He's got a ring on each finger. Each ring is a different color. These are the 3 people who have come to meet you. The human steps forward, and he gives you not a bow, but a nod of acknowledgement. Spreads out his hands in front of him. He says, "Greetings, Sunbreakers. Welcome aboard the Jellyfish Junction. I am Vaxel Gray, representing the Logistocracy." He gestures to the Andromedan containment unit and says, "This is LB 192.16, comma plus 8.11 degrees. You may refer to them as home."
Oh, that's a lovely name.
And he gestures to the Centauran and says, "Looming evenfall, a sad, kindly cloud rises above the nomad." And the Centauran inclines their head towards you. Centauran's pronouns are Z-Zer, and the Andromedan bobs at you and flexes their rings. Their pronouns are they and them.
It's lovely to meet you all. I'm Keva Jarma.
Kevajama, a pleasure.
Emran Pak.
Keva.
Emran Pak, we've heard of your exploits.
Me specifically?
Indeed.
Oh,
Good, I hope.
Impressive.
Maeve sent us. Tell your looming crustaceans I will speak with them further.
I am sure that they would be pleased to. And looming evenfall clacks forward on his legs and says, "Yes, I am looming evenfall. I am here representing the Enduring Loop. This is our ship, Jellyfish Junction. We welcome you. We have rooms prepared for our negotiations. I trust that you are prepared."
this is Zora Zhackson.
He looks up. No, I put the wrong pronouns down. Z and Zer. Z looks up at the very tall woman in armor and Z says, "Ah,
Didn't see me.
I had assumed you were an automaton of some sort."
I'm afraid I'm not.
"Well, even better. No patience for such things."
We're very tall, apparently. Not me.
Yes, you are all taller than the human here. Then you're all taller than Vaxel Gray.
Well, no, Keva wouldn't
Keva
be.
maybe not.
Yeah, no, Keva's not. Everyone
Keva's
else is.
unusually short.
Yeah,
A small bean.
yeah. Keva's just 5'6", down on the ground. Like,
Yeah, Vaxel Gray is about 5'8", so he's a little taller than you.
I'm a normal height, but I am short by our standards, I guess.
Vaxel turns and gestures down the hallway and says, "We mustn't tarry here. There's no telling how long it will be before the main fleet notices our absence." Yes, Mr. Pak.
Actually, Matt, did we have brought the Andromedans, right?
The Andromedans were returned to the fleet with Zonin some time ago.
Oh, okay, that already happened. Got it.
Yeah, different Andromedans, not the same one.
Zonin
No,
had met them in a previous memory because he got the.
Zonan's having a cool side adventure.
Well, let's see. His Zonin's previous memory, he did not meet the Andromedans so much as crash into their ship and die.
No, because memory gave him another memory when he was restored by them.
Right.
Resurrect.
Yeah.
I have a question about Mr. Gray's rings. By looking at them, can I tell which lantern corps he belongs to?
How powerful of course is Vaxel Gray?
Yeah, it's in every one. It's just he's going to be a parallax over there.
Oof.
The first rainbow lantern.
Yeah, it's not clear what the rings are for at this point.
I like your jewelry. I'm a fan too.
Ah, thank you. These are a symbol of rank among my people.
Oh, that's fascinating. We don't have that sort of thing going on.
Each one of these rings, he says, holding up his hand, represents a different accomplishment. The more accomplishments that you have officially achieved, the greater your rank within the logistocracy. We aim to promote based upon merit. Well, we aim.
Uh-huh. And you represent the logistocracy in an official capacity?
Unfortunately, I do not represent all of the logistocracy. I represent a group within who wish to, I represent a group that has the ear of the logistarch. We hope to sway her away from her chosen course.
Understood.
Oh, okay. Well, if land is one of the things you all really, really wanted, I can't promise that because I'm not in charge.
No, we are aware that you are not in charge, but we wish to open talks, present offers, suggest terms so that we may bring these own things back to our people and ideally prevent the coming catastrophe.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the people in charge, so we can definitely convince them.
I hope to learn more once we begin our official talks, but for now, he pauses in a hallway and turns, and there's a row of 4 rooms, or 4 doors, and the doors slide open to reveal rooms inside. It's nothing fancy, but everything inside has been grown into a specific shape. So it's all made of the same material as a nautilus shell, but it's all been like decorated and so on. So it's a room. There's a shelf-style bed. There's a shelf-style chair. It looks like there's a sink and stuff in it. And he says, these rooms have been prepared for human representatives. We understand that you have been operating tirelessly for the past long while, and we wish to give you some time to rest and recover before we begin our talks in the morning.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I am going to ask a question, and this is a personal preference, and it's okay if you don't have any. It's just a question. Do your people have cheese?
I'm afraid we have not had access to livestock since ever.
Oh, buddy.
I think that's something we can promise.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
As a future tip, speaking as one diplomat to perhaps another, be careful what and when you promise.
Right.
I want these talks to go well for you, because that means they're going well for humankind as a whole.
Looming Evenfall?
Yes.
Do you know anything about... We've engaged, at least on one occasion, an automaton that was in the shape of a common earth squid. Do you know anything about that?
Their fishy mouth curves up into something that's not quite a smile as he looks back over at Vaxel and says, I believe you'll have more luck discussing the inventions of your people with your people.
Oh, see, that's what I was afraid of.
Okay.
On a related note, you don't happen to have access to anything that would be able to transport large living specimens, specifically large insects?
Transport? I suppose we could put them in a room. What do you mean, like a shuttle? We've got shuttles.
Anything you could spare. I've a bit of a reserve on the hub that I wasn't able to bring with me, and if things go south, we all might benefit from having the swarm with us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak to the captain.
Thank you, Looming. Oh, may I ask?
He turns and heads off.
Have we done anything really, really like faux pas yet? I'm sorry. She asked the Andromedan and human.
No. We are simply an insular people. It's been a long time since we've had outside contact, and there are many contrasting opinions amongst the fleet. Not everyone will be eager to be friends with you.
That's sad.
He nods. Sadness, I feel, is something that we as a species and as a galactic community have come to know intimately. But it is not all there is to life. Yes?
No, there's good times.
There's goats.
He smiles. Yes, I would love to see a goat someday.
I have a picture.
He nods. Emran, you were talking to Home? You wanted to ask Home something?
Yes. How are the survivors of the sun doing?
Home bobs and turns what you assume is the front of their containment unit towards you, and you hear the simulated voice. Our lost members are recovering. It will be some time before they are themselves again, and they may choose to no longer be themselves, but instead new selves. We are greatly thankful to you for liberating them from that torment.
Good for them.
It's quite literally the least we could do.
Mm-hmm.
You will find that most within the Andromedan fleet, at the very least, are eager to take your cause.
I am extremely glad to hear that. Thank you, Home.
Home bobs towards you and then floats off towards their own containment unit or wherever they're staying.
So, Mr. Ambassador, there's some things we still don't know. Like, do you know what the name of our station was a long time ago? Because people in the sun don't know because their memories got edited.
You wish to know what the name of your habitat is?
Yes.
Ah, I see. Well, your habitat was simply known as the habitat of the League of Orbital Nations.
Oh, I was hoping for something pithier, but okay.
I apologize.
It's not your.
As far as I remember from the history books, there was a great debate amongst the League of Orbital Nations over what they should call the habitat until they eventually just decided to call it the habitat of the League of Orbital Nations.
That makes sense.
Keep it simple, they said.
Ablon.
That's a good one.
Yes, Hablon.
I got another question before you go, if not taking up too much of your time.
That's perfectly fine, although I will need to leave you to rest soon. Otherwise, our hosts here aboard the Jellyfish Junction will believe that I am conspiring.
I wouldn't want that.
Oh, no.
What's the deal with the squids, man?
Ah, the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I know from our history books as well. Although, as we know, history is not always as reliable as we wish it would be in its recorded form. I can tell you what I do know.
Even when you get first-hand knowledge from alien beings, it's still unclear.
Indeed, I assume. Those drones, as they are called, were part of a defense system created by a group called Larup Automated Design.
What?
You've heard of them?
They're on the sun.
Wonderful. Larup Automated Design was one of the most amoral, unethical corporations.
Yeah, that sounds like
That tracks.
Based out of the United Shareholders of America in the early part of history. They developed the defense system as part of their suite of tools to which they sold to the military. It was meant to be an automated replacement for their Space Force. Unfortunately, they programmed them without consulting anybody who wasn't, shall we say, pale of countenance. And as a result, they tend to automatically hunt down and kill anyone who is, shall we say, pale of countenance. It caused a bit of a ruckus.
No kidding. I know that this next question is probably a much bigger answer, if you can boil it down before we risk being considered conspirators. Is Earth alive anymore?
I don't know.
Okay, no one does. That's fine.
I can only tell you what we can see. And all that we can see is that the emergency consumed the Earth shortly after we escaped. Its great blooms opened around the planet and closed again, and we have not been able to see it clearly ever since.
That's rough.
It lurks there still. That is why we have the shroud. That is why we must hide.
So, what about green people?
What?
The people on the... I'm sorry, Keva.
Okay.
I suppose you could be green if you wanted to. You just instruct your nanobots to change the pigmentation of your skin. It shouldn't be too difficult.
No. Okay.
Yeah, watch, I'll do it now, he says, and he presses a button, and his skin starts to turn green. Look, now I'm green. Is this what you were talking about?
No. So that does make me wonder, why didn't you make yourselves darker of countenance to hide from the mistake?
If only it were so simple. It's a much more complex algorithm than that, and once it was hacked, I can send you the history lessons if you wish.
That would
Please
be
do.
great.
I would like to...
But no, there have been some cyborg clones that were on the sun that came out green. I was just wondering.
Maybe they're doing photosynthesis.
Kevin thinks and is like, that's the thing that plants do.
Yeah.
Emran goes into his room and closes it because he has... Yeah, this is too much.
As well, goodbye, Emran.
Yeah.
Now I really must go. I will meet you in the morning for the talks.
Okay.
Emran just hears,
It's been my great pleasure to meet you all.
been a pleasure.
Thank you.
He gives that spreading of hands and the nod again. Make yourselves comfortable. He strolls away down the hall.
What in Gov's name is happening? I don't know what's happening.
So you've got these rooms. They're fine. The doors aren't locked, but you'll find that if you leave your rooms, the hallway on either end has closed off. So you can get to each other's rooms, no problem, but you can't access the rest of the ship at the moment. And that's basically it for here. You've made your way to Jellyfish Junction for the meeting, this summit of species. And in the morning, once you've all had some time to rest and absorb new things, it'll be time to enter into the talks to determine, perhaps, the future of your people. Any last questions before we go?
Dun dun dun.
Are our beds water beds?
Sure, if you want them to be.
Can there be a jellyfish in mine?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's goldfish swimming around Keva's.
One of them's got a little hat on.
That's her favorite.
Well, in that case, I want to acknowledge that this podcast was produced on the unceded territory of the Katzie, Kwikwetlem, Stalo, Kwantlen, Stz'uminus, Musqueam people, and the treaty land of the Tsawwassen First Nation. Please don't forget that Black lives continue to matter. You can learn more and find out ways that you can contribute or donate at blacklivesmatters.card.co. It's card with 2 R's. And thank you for joining us today on Specters of a Broken Sun. We are coming up towards the end at a breakneck pace now, and I can't wait for you to see what we've got planned moving into the future. Today, I've been joined by 4 excellent entertainers. We've got with us today Velvet.
Thank you for sticking around, y'all. I've been Velvet Bayfair, playing Maeve Sentis, the mother of monsters, who goes by she, her. You can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar.
Thank you. And we've got with us Trudy.
I'm Trudy. My pronouns are they, them. I played Zora. Her pronouns were she, her. Had a really great time today, and I'm looking forward to playing in our next session.
Yeah, just a few days from now. We are also joined by Keekers.
Hi everyone, it's me, Keekers, also known as Be a Space Cat. I played Keba Jarma, who is she, her, with whom I share the same pronouns. And I was happy to play with my favorite non-binary group of people, and Matt too.
And we've got with us Michael Blood.
I've been Michael Blood playing Emran Pak. He, him, I'm they, them. I am riddled with knowledge now, and I need to recover. And
let's see, did I get everybody?
That was everybody.
No, I got everybody. Good.
Who are you?
So I'm Matt.
Yeah,
I'm Matt. My pronouns are here, they. You can find me on Twitter at YCaliber, or you can follow the show at Broken Sun RPG. Thanks again for joining us, and until the next time, all the best.
All the best, folks.
Best Space Squids.
Layer up automated space squids.
And yep.
Squids.
It seems
Layer up wood.
It's not as happy anymore.
No.
No.
How about Space Nautiluses?
Yeah.
Space Nautiloids.
We should do experience before we forget.
Yeah.
Still on the call.
Did we forget to do the downtime stuff for the Sunbreakers or whoever wasn't on the rescue mission last time?
We didn't really, because it wasn't a traditional mission. We didn't really do downtime for that. But
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
You're
you can do downtime for this one if you want, and we'll do like a recap of it when we start up next
Cool.
on Tuesday.
Do you want us to
So-
pause the recordings?
Yeah, you can stop the recordings. You don't need to record the experience stuff. The audience will have to trust us.